Welcome to Chat Like a Native, the deep dive, where we take your insights, your notes, and the articles you've shared and really distill them into strategies, things that can actually transform how you communicate in English. So many of you mentioned this challenge. How do you get past just being understood? How do you start sounding genuinely natural, confident, especially when you're thinking on your feet? It's that frustrating moment, right? You've got the idea clear in your head, but the words, they just don't come out smoothly or fast enough.
Exactly. And that struggle, that sort of spontaneous expression gap, that's something we saw reflected again and again in the materials you sent over. So our deep dive today is all about a really powerful technique, paraphrasing.
Paraphrasing.
But wait, not just any paraphrasing. We're really zeroing in on what some are calling a revolutionary 10-second drill. Based on what we've analyzed, this can genuinely unlock a new level of fluency. It helps make your words feel effortless, authentically yours. It's really not just about, avoiding plagiarism. It's about building mental agility.
Right. And that's why this deep dive is so exciting. By the end of our chat, you are going to have a concrete routine, something actionable based on the practices we saw that you can do every single day. This routine is designed to help you automatically rephrase ideas, respond quicker, and just sound, well, much more like a native speaker. Think of it as a shortcut, maybe, to being articulate, even when you're under pressure. We'll break down why quick paraphrasing is such a game changer. Then we'll get into the nitty-gritty, how the 10-second drill works, step by step. We'll also cover building your personal paraphrase toolbox, common mistakes to watch out for, and finally, how to supercharge your practice so it really sticks. Sound good?
Sounds great. Let's jump in. Why paraphrasing quickly is a game changer.
Okay, so let's unpack this first part. Paraphrasing. Simply put, it's just taking someone else's ideas and putting them into your own words. Right. We usually think of it for, like, school papers, academic stuff, but the insights we gather to show its real power is in everyday talk.
Absolutely. Yeah, one of the pieces we looked at, focused on linguistic agility, really hammered this home. It's such a vital skill, way beyond academics, for a few key reasons. First, it massively improves your comprehension. I mean, if you can rephrase something in your own way, your own style, that's proof you've really got it, not just memorized it.
Right, you own the idea then.
Exactly. Second, yes, okay, it helps you avoid accidentally stealing ideas, plagiarism, which is important. But maybe the biggest thing for you listening to Chat Like a Native is it makes you sound incredibly natural, both speaking and writing. You're not just repeating things like a parrot, you're internalizing, then expressing information in your own voice. It sounds authentic.
That natural sound.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the goal for so many learners, isn't it? But let's talk about the speed thing. Why quickly? You mentioned fluency and speed. What did the research show about rapid processing? Is it just about being efficient, or is there something more to it? Because honestly, in a real conversation, you almost never have time to sit and ponder synonyms. Think about a quick call, bumping into a colleague, a fast meeting. It all demands quick thinking.
That's a fantastic question. And actually, the materials we reviewed, they highlight a really critical distinction here. It's not just efficiency. Rapid processing, it signals confident mastery. For learners, this speed is, well, it's crucial in practical situations. Think about exams like IELTS or TOEFL. They often need you to show you understand a passage by rewording it, and fast, within tight time limits.
No time to waste there.
None. You just don't have forever to think it over. And one study on cognitive load in language learning pointed out something interesting: the ability to switch between concepts, express them quickly. It actually reduces mental fatigue. It leads to more fluid, kind of less effortful communication. Plus, your writing fluency gets a big boost when you can smoothly mix insights from sources with your own voice without just sticking in quote after quote.
Oh.
That smooth integration, that's a real sign of articulate communication. It's like building subconscious linguistic muscle memory.
Okay, so the goal is clear then. And it lines up with what we saw about motor learning principles. By training yourself just 10 seconds at a time, you make this rephrasing process automatic, like second nature. It's not about being perfect every single time, not at all. It's about consistently getting the meaning right accurately and saying it in language that feels fresh, natural, and, well, truly yours. It's about building a habit. 2, the 10-second paraphrasing drill, your new secret weapon. Okay, this is where it gets really interesting, because now we're talking about a specific process, structured, manageable, like a mental sprint. This 10-second drill, it's broken down into 3 super quick steps based on what one source called micro-learning bursts.
That's right. Ready to break it down?
Let's do it.
Okay, step 1, read and understand. This takes about 2 seconds. Your job here is just to quickly scan the sentence, find the main idea, spot the key words, subjects, verbs, important nouns. For now, ignore the small function words. Things like the, of, is, the cognitive science stuff we looked at. It suggests focusing on content words first stops your brain getting overloaded.
Makes sense. Those little words are easy to slot back in later.
Exactly. And focusing on them early can slow you down, break that 10-second rhythm. You don't want that. Next, step 2. Chunk and substitute. This is the core, about 5 seconds. You break the sentence into maybe 2 or 3 main parts. Chunks. Let's take an example sentence. A new study shows that regular exercise improves memory. You could chunk it like, a new study shows that regular exercise improves memory.
Got it. Little manageable pieces.
Right. This chunking is key for handling complexity when you're short on time. It's a technique we saw emphasized in language processing studies. Once you have the chunks, you quickly replace each one's keyword or phrase. Use a synonym or just a related phrase. So a new study shows might become research recently found, regular exercise. Maybe swap that for consistent workouts. And improves memory could become boosts recallability. The key here is speed. Get a plausible alternative out. It doesn't have to be the absolute perfect word right now. Then step 3, reassemble in Polish. This is quick, just 3 seconds. You put your substituted chunks back together into one smooth sentence. So using our example, research recently found that consistent workouts boost recallability. In these last few seconds, you also do a quick check. Does the word order sound natural? Do I need to tweak an article like a or the or a preposition?
Oh, the final polish.
Exactly. Make sure it flows and sounds grammatically okay. That rapid check helps lock in the new sentence structure.
And here's a really crucial tip, something that helps build that mental muscle. As you practice, count silently in your head. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3. It really helps you feel the pace, trains your brain for those limits. It kind of builds that sense of urgency, like in a real chat, prepares you for when you can't hesitate.
That's a great point. The timing is part of the training. 3, building your paraphrase power-up toolbox. What's really fascinating here, and this came up in the papers on language acquisition, is that to do this fast and well, you need a ready stash. A stash of synonyms, collocations, sentence patterns. Think of it like your personal language toolkit, or maybe an arsenal.
A language arsenal, I like that.
Yeah.
Because, it often feels like you're searching frantically for the right word.
Yeah.
So if it's an arsenal, how do we actually stock it? What are the practical steps? Okay, first step, focus on word families and collocations. Word families, groups of words from the same root, like develop, development, developmental, A collocations, words that just naturally hang out together, like conduct research, make progress, pose a question, make lists of these, then actively practice swapping parts out. So conduct research becomes carry out research. Make progress could be achieve advancement.
It's not just about synonyms, it's about those
natural word pairs needed to use without thinking.
Good point. It's about the pairings.
Next, try synonym drills. Make it a daily habit. Maybe just 5 minutes. Pick 5 common words you use a lot, like important, increase, benefit. Then list maybe 3 alternatives for each. You could use flashcards, classic method, or, as OneNote mentioned, spaced repetition apps. Fantastic for drilling these connections into your long-term memory. Makes recall almost instant.
Those apps are really effective for vocabulary building.
Totally. And finally, build up your sentence templates. Learning just a few basic patterns for paraphrasing can be incredibly powerful. For instance, if you see X indicates that Y, train yourself to think, okay, I could also say X reveals Y, or one possible reason is that, could flip to a key factor might be that. Having these structures ready, it frees up your brain, lets you focus on the meaning, not just wrestling with grammar.
And connecting this back to the bigger picture. These tools aren't just for paraphrasing. They dramatically expand your overall English fluency, your natural expression. They give you that broader, more flexible range to express ideas without constantly searching. That's what the proficiency studies really highlighted as a mark of advanced learners. It helps you genuinely chat like a native. 4, the drill in action and common traps to avoid.
All right, let's make this concrete. Let's try the drill with a real example sentence. How about this one? Eating a balanced diet provides essential nutrients that support overall health. How would we tackle that in 10 seconds?
Excellent. Okay, let's walk through it. My thought process out loud. Read and understand. 2 seconds. Okay, stand. Key parts are balanced diet, verb provides, object essential nutrients, and the purpose bit, support overall health. Got the core message.
Okay, 2 seconds down.
Chunk and substitute. 5 seconds. All right, chunks. Eating a balanced diet. Quick swap. Consuming varied meals. Yeah, provides essential nutrients. How about supplies vital nourishment, okay? That support overall health. For maintaining general well-being. Good enough. Quick, plausible replacement.
5 seconds gone.
Reassemble and polish, 3 seconds, put them together. Consuming varied meals supplies vital nourishment for maintaining general well-being. Quick check. Sounds okay. Flow's all right. Done. Now you, listening, try timing yourself. See how close you get to 10 seconds. It's tough at first, definitely. But practice makes it almost automatic. What feels hard now won't later.
Seeing it live like that really helps. Okay, for someone starting out, what's usually the biggest hurdle, that first attempt? And how do they get past it? And maybe, what other common traps catch people out, even once they get the hang of the basic steps?
Critical question. Yeah, avoiding traps is as vital as knowing the steps. The biggest hurdle initially, often just that inner voice screaming, no way I can do this in 10 seconds.
Yeah, I know that voice.
Right. Just got to embrace imperfection, push through, keep going. Beyond that initial panic, here are a few key traps. First, over-reliance on the first synonym. Under pressure, you grab the first word that pops in your head, but hold on. Try to have like a mental shortlist of 2 or 3 options. Then you can pick the best fit for the context. You know, big has tons of synonyms, but enormous fits a problem. Significant fits an achievement better. Context matters.
Good point. Don't just grab and go.
Exactly. Another big one, and this came up in the notes on academic integrity, changing the meaning. This is crucial. Your paraphrase must keep the original sense. Double check nuanced words like suggests is way different from proves. If you swap those, you've changed the core message. Even if it felt like a synonym, always ask. Same message.
That's a subtle but really important one.
Very. And finally, watch out for word order errors. English usually likes that subject-verb-object flow. When you split sentences into chunks and then stick them back together, make sure the final version still sounds natural. Sometimes just swapping words can make it sound clunky or just plain wrong. Give it a quick mental read-through. Does it sound right? He rapidly ate the apple. Good. Rapidly the apple ate. Not so much.
Got it. Check the flow. V, supercharging your practice and making it stick. So, okay, you're getting comfortable with the drill on your own. How do you really level up, make sure this skill sticks around and isn't just an exercise you do sometimes? The stuff on collaborative learning seemed relevant here.
Indeed it is. Peer feedback is seriously one of the best ways to supercharge progress. Working with a partner, maybe a small group, it adds a dynamic element you just don't get alone. You can set it up easily. One person reads a sentence, the other starts the 10-second clock and paraphrases. Then swap roles.
Simple enough.
And the real value comes from the feedback. After each try, your partner can say, hey, I think you missed the bit about X, or that phrasing sounded a little unnatural. Mixing levels is also great. Pair intermediates with slightly more advanced folks. It provides a gentle challenge and often richer feedback. Makes it feel less like homework, more like a game.
Yeah, at least more engaging.
Totally. Another great strategy, tracking progress. Sounds basic, I know, but keeping a simple log is incredibly motivating. Just jot down, date, the sentence you used, maybe how long it was, your time, your accuracy, maybe rate it 0 to 10, and any quick notes, like July 1st, 12 words, 10s, accuracy 8, smooth but missed overall. Your goal is to see that time drop or the accuracy climb over a week, a month. Seeing that tangible improvement really keeps you going, shows you it's working.
Right, tangible results. So what does this all mean for you, listening, as you master this drill? It means you could start pushing yourself further. One article talked about scaffolding learning. Once the core drill feels okay, try a 5-second blitz. Really short sentences, lightning fast. Or cackle topic-based paraphrases. Try summarizing a whole paragraph's more ideas in just 1 or 2 well-crafted sentences. It's a bigger challenge. Even better, writing integration. Start weaving your paraphrase sentences into your actual English use. Use them in emails, forum posts, study notes. That makes it real. It solidifies the skill in everyday context, making it truly part of how you communicate.
And tying it all together, why does this drill work so well? The neuroscience insights were pretty clear. That time pressure, it's not just stress. It mimics real life, builds mental agility, force of faster brain connections. The structured steps. They break a big task into small, manageable bites so you don't feel overwhelmed.
Takes the fear factor down.
Exactly. And crucially, repetition and feedback, they reinforce what you're doing right and shine a light on where you need to adjust, things you might miss yourself. By making this a real daily habit, timer and all, you'll internalize it. Seriously. Soon, you won't even need the timer. You'll just paraphrase automatically. And that's when you're really starting to chat like a native.
Outro.
And that really is the power of it. This structured approach, pulled from the very material you shared with us, It makes paraphrasing automatic. It helps you respond faster, sound way more natural in English conversations, truly fulfilling that promise of chat like a native.
So the thought we want to leave you with is this. How can you commit? Just 10 minutes a day. Can you find that time to practice this skill and maybe think about what's the first real-world situation coming up, a meeting, a chat, an email where you can consciously use this. Make it your first proving ground to actively chat like a native with this new power.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive today. We really hope this gives you a powerful new tool for your language journey. Now go out there and start paraphrasing.